If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed.
A child shall lead them. All right, you guys. Vektor-Cygnus Terminal is up next.
Now everybody's saying that I'm a good-looking fella.
You all.
This is the first time in what do you call it, Vin and Sori history, where I've ever been told that I'm an attractive fella.
That's such a lie.
That's because of the previous controversy, dear listener.
Ah! Okay, you guys, we are doing a DJ stream for the big homie Wackator.
The Wackator. The Wackator.
Up here. I got it first. Yeah, right there. DJ stream is where you get to pick the songs, pick the time, pick the date. Yeah, you can also have us putting on corpse paint, but that's an extra thing. Anyway, so up next is Vektor-Cygnus Terminal, and we're gonna check that out.
Vector. The name of the song is
Cygnus Terminal.
Cygnus Terminal. Let's go.
I like this.
Growing grass, Brazil attack, coaching on Cygnus domain. sight, the terminal going in space. 0 for the 3, but not for me. I'm prepared to plead my case. Like the moon is silent, consumed by the void. All streets of desire destroyed. I was certain injustice. I set up the guard. A balance in was my job. again are enforced by me. Epsilon to Octagon, failing now because of my need. LCD and full capacity, this is where I restart my work. Take the names of those who cause the shame, be silenced with the death on your search. Like the moon is silent, consumed by the void. All streets of inside are destroyed. I am returned with powers of death beyond. I have arrived like the rise of a massive tide.
Ah! Damn you!
Wow, that was a
Damn you,
abrupt end.
cursed bard!
Wow. It's been a while since we've listened to them.
This is like literally been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
We listened to them in year 1.
And you're
Vektor.
right, I do. I have a shirt of theirs, and I actually haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, you have that shirt from this record.
Yes, that's how I recognize it. I saw
That's the record.
I'm like, hey.
Let me see if we can reckon. This is a track list which Genius did for whatever reason. I think it was the first one, right? Or was it Redux was the first song?
No, we did. Here. I actually had pulled it up. Right
You
here.
have.
Vektor, right there. Forest of Legend, and we did Recharging the Void.
I'm pretty sure it was Recharging the Void was the first one that we listened to. December
there.
30th. No, December 30th was the first one.
Forest
Anyway,
of Legend was our first one.
so,
How interesting.
yeah, this is one of the bands that tunes up a half step up to F.
Oh,
So they go
okay.
up F tuning instead of drop D tuning, which is really, really interesting.
okay.
Because I came up with Con, which of course is drop D tuning on 7-string guitars. Everything is low.
Low, 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 low.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so this is another. People were saying that this is a progressive thrash band, so they're progressive more on the heavy side, whereas Dream Theater seems to be more progressive on the lead guitar side, like traditional progressive, I would say. It looks very nice.
Thank you.
Shout out to the big homie JLB. Okay. So I really like this song. It had some really interesting. I forget the storyline of Vektor, but it was a sci-fi situation, and they were trying to repopulate the Earth, basically, or repopulate space, or Earth had been destroyed. And they were
Yeah, I
trying
was gonna say I thought they left, and then they were trying to
left, they were trying
go
to
do
go somewhere,
something.
whatever. And apparently, this dude got captured.
Oh, okay.
It looks like this dude got captured anyway, and things were not going well for the homie at all in any way, shape, or form.
So okay, let me go with sonically first.
Okay.
So the beginning, like when it first started out, I was like,
By the way, are the sound
loving
levels
it,
good, guys?
loving it, and then it had a lot of transitions, which I guess is what makes progressive stuff progressive, right? Is it the changes?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, all the progressive stuff that we've heard, it seems like it has
a lot of changes and a lot of weird time signatures and, drumming, off rhythm drumming and all that jazz. But yeah, go ahead.
Then there was like a little bit of like a middle piece that I was like kind of meh about. And then it went right back to stuff that I really liked. How long was this song?
Good question. I feel like it was like 6 minutes, right?
I was gonna say it felt kind of more like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So, but if it turned out to be like 13 minutes, then it's like
8 minutes. It's
8 minutes.
8 minutes in. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, a progressive song that did not feel like the amount of time and it felt like the ending was abrupt, which
it really
I'm
did.
sure they did on
Yeah.
purpose. But I was like really vibing with it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
It seemed like it was gonna go like more. Maybe it goes directly into the next song, and that's why. Kind of has that sound. Okay, so take me through a journey, Vinny, through what you got from the lyrics.
Well, the other thing about the it was a thrash song, but there were a lot of segments where what are you doing?
Just keep talking.
You just can't deal with that little light thing?
No, it's that you're not my knight, you're the king.
No. I have no problem with being your knight, your grace. If somebody makes a mistake,
They're gonna pay for that.
the last mistake they'll ever make in their miserable lives.
Okay, so what were you saying lyrically?
No, sonically though,
Oh.
there were a lot of times that it was just like flourishing. I don't know how else to explain it. And there was one specific area where I have to look at it again because I'm like, did they just do that?
Okay.
Did they find some way to blend the guy's scream in with a tremolo transition? Which if they did, would be really awesome because I've never heard something like that before. But
Before we had this
I
new
will try to
editing
check.
program, I had to do all the editing and line it up.
Sorry, give me a second. Go ahead now. Now tell them.
Before we had this new program, anytime that you would do this, it would make me so. If you watch our older videos, anytime that you go back in the song, it created so much editing for me. It was so frustrating. I'd be like,
I know, and she
but
got
now it doesn't
then
matter.
Then she went after me in the Tool video. Oh, that's right, because you had to line everything up, right?
Yeah, and then I had to find the exact spot in the song that you played,
Yeah.
and it was
Amy.
it was a nightmare.
Amy basically
Yep.
redid this entire.
She
channel.
did. She saved our marriage. I'm just kidding.
And I'm not sure that she's particularly happy about that.
Oh no!
That you'd be on the market. But okay, so there's one particular. I think it's right here.
All the years after silence, all who wants to confide in was my waiting sense of world. Now repeat the
No.
from the isolation
Yeah.
You see how he goes project, but then at the same time you're hearing.
Yeah.
So they did the tremolo, I think, in the same key as his scream, so that the scream went into the guitar.
Oh yeah, I
see
think
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah. Didn't
look,
it
look.
sound like he had put the water in his throat to go?
Oh yeah. When he said project.
You strayed from your test. You must have lost your mind. Why don't we just kill you now and put this on?
Where's that line? I think I missed it again. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I just we gotta play it one more time. There you go. Okay, so when he says project, listen how he screams project, and then listen to the guitar at the same time. It's really interesting.
Isolation
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so
I've
interesting.
never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. I don't know.
that was brilliant.
I'm also gonna steal it, inshallah. Plus, I have someone that can like really sing. So there's so many things we could do with that concept. Here's Dwayne. That style of vocalizations are very Beatles-esque. Lies. Okay, so lyrically, this guy has gone crazy. They put him in solitary confinement, I think.
Oh no. Okay.
And then he just lost his damn mind.
Well,
And they told him, you must have lost your mind. It's like, well, yeah.
what do you think?
I mean, if you put somebody in solitary confinement, then that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I think the worst part about it is that you have to. Well, I mean, I don't know what the worst part is, but having to face yourself and the things that you've done and the bad choices you made and not being able to reconcile with people, that's got to be.
You got that from this thing?
No. You just said solitary confinement.
Oh,
I
I
spend
see.
time sometimes thinking and praying for people in that situation. I don't think people should be in that situation unless there's extreme circumstances.
What
And
extreme circumstances do you think would warrant solitary confinement?
that to me should be like almost a last resort. Like nothing else is working. Not that the guards got pissed off with something you did and then they throw you in there for 5 months.
I just don't
like,
see.
Look, the story that we just watched about the guy and the girl, and after you see all the stuff, what was her name? Was it Knox? And then
Amanda Knox.
Yeah. When you look at the documentary and stuff, like, and then, you know, they got let off. It looks like they shouldn't have even been in jail. And they threw that kid in there for 5 months in solitary confinement. Yeah. That to me was, you were pissed and you put him there. Like, that wasn't the last resort. That didn't need to happen.
Yeah, it was clearly. But I don't see any circumstance.
Skylar, I agree.
I really can't conceive of any circumstance where solitary confinement presently practiced is justifiable in any circumstance. Like, you put somebody in a, I don't know, X by X cell by themselves for 23 out of 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing remotely reparative about that kind of, even if you do a psychiatric pre-screen.
Yeah.
You put somebody in that situation for 6 months, they're going to be worse psychiatrically or psychologically than anything they were before. And even if they were deranged before, they're going to be worse when they get... So I'm not... To me, that practice is one of those holdovers from the bygone era where we used to put, psychiatrically disabled people in straitjackets and all the rest of it, and do all kinds of horrible shit to them, and the families would lock them away and never see them again. It seems to me like a carryover from that era.
It could be.
Where people were fooling around with eugenics and things like that, and being a human being wasn't this transcendently valuable thing anymore. And now, because you don't contribute to society, we could just get rid of you. And psychiatrically, if you don't contribute to society, we'll just lock you up in a psych ward, and which many times back in the day functioned like solitary confinement. And then,
it's awful.
From a legal perspective, if you don't contribute to society because you're committing crimes, then we can do anything we want to you. And so, like, it's very fascinating to me that even in an alternate universe, we're still practicing this thing. This guy looks like he's been locked up or whatever for whatever reason, and then they're like, you lost your mind. Well, no shit. So, like, they blame him for losing his mind when they put him in the situation
they got him there.
Yeah,
I guess for me, like, if somebody, let's say somebody kidnaps a child, or they know where somebody is being held and they're not talking, I don't have a problem with, But then the question comes, like, well, what if the person doesn't really know? What if they're not really guilty? And then you go and I don't know. It's complicated, I guess.
Well,
maybe that's the simplest answer.
Now what you're talking about is torture in order to accomplish a certain kind of result, and that comes with its own set of moral. And I can tell you that if you torture, extended periods of torture generally don't work, because people will end up telling you whatever
to make it stop.
To make it stop. And really good organizations have contingency plans for how to deal with being tortured. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about like agencies or anything. I'm talking about just regular people. Somebody gets kidnapped, they won't say where the person is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're talking about putting somebody in solitary confinement as a means of mentally breaking them so that they can.
Yeah, I'm saying I wouldn't have a problem with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have a problem with if one of my family members is stuck somewhere because you won't talk, then pull.
I wouldn't have a problem with it if I thought that in the main it would garner results, but it doesn't garner the results.
Really?
No, it really doesn't. So
why?
That's why you get so many false confessions and things of that nature. Because the thing is that, for example, Amanda Knox.
Yeah.
It looked like she was completely guilty in the narrative that people told, but I don't think she is. And if that African dude wouldn't have squealed on himself on the phone.
He did? What did he say?
He said he was there, he was in the bathroom, and then this shadowy figure showed up, and then, you know what I'm saying? So he placed himself there. His DNA was all over the place.
Yeah.
But the police department specifically did not include that in their case. So you have all of these other issues. Like there's so many things that have to go perfectly right for torture to work that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'd be against it. And secondly, I understand you're thinking about your kid, but what if some little lily white kid went missing and then Dorian was a suspect?
I'm not
Would you
okay
be
with
okay
that.
with torture then?
No.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't see any circumstance in which protracted periods of solitary confinement is good. I think it's purely punitive. It's purely a symptom of, like I said, a bygone era, and it does drive people crazy. It does drive people insane, and I think that the human cost won't...
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean... Hold on.
Blair has been in solitary confinement. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Ugh. Yeah, I boy. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's the thing with you, Vin. You force me to have to live in a world where decisions are not easy. Like what I had to begin with, I felt like, okay, you know what? Yeah, solitary for the... Yeah, but what if it was my kid that somebody accused falsely? For put it in... No, I don't want you torturing my kid, and don't put my kid in solitary either. Yeah, right. I think that, you know, like other people said, you know, psychiatric help should be done. Like people... Yeah, I think, okay, we'll go back to the lyrics, but I think that that in school, that there needs to be classes on how to deal with mental illness. Like basically, bring back like the Jordan Peterson class where he's going to talk about, you know, mental issues. He's going to talk about what to do in certain situations, how to better yourself, how to, you know, when he said, get up and make your bed. Like if you're completely discouraged every day, just get up and just make your bed. Like, let that be your goal, and then be like, okay, you made your goal, you know, like stuff like that, and how to help people that are in emotional duress and stuff. I think that there's so many people that don't know what to do, you know, then stuff can easily get out of hand. But if we were all, you know, trained, you know, I think that I think there are very few classes that they teach in public school that would be more important and more used than that class. For instance, the majority of kids are not going to use algebra in their future unless it's a specific child that wants that as part of their...
I think you could say calculus. But
calculus.
Calculus. I think we use algebra a lot more than we realize.
Really?
Your point is taken. But yeah, I think we use algebra a lot more than we realize. But go ahead.
But even if let's say we use it more than we realize, you're not going to use it more than you would use a class about mental illness and how to deal with trauma and seeing people in stressful situations. You see that every single day. You see people in those situations.
I agree.
So it would be like the most important. So
they're saying this guy's crazy, but I don't know if the guy's crazy.
Yeah.
How can you tell? I mean, you got to listen for the rest of the record. And anybody that has like a different mentality or worldview where it says, hey, what about this, is always going to look crazy until they get proven right. Mm-hmm. So we don't know if the guy is crazy. They could be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that. What do you give this song, Sori?
I actually 8.9.
You like the previous song better than the other one?
Yes, I like the previous song better than this one.
Okay.
But this one was really good, though.
Okay. I'm going to give this one an 8.8. Shout out to Vektor, though. Really, really good song. Very, very provocative themes. And Michael Pebbles, I will be posting your commentary throughout the second second song, because we're doing part 2 of Table of My Enemies or whatever.
Dream Theater? What?
From Dream Theater.
Dream Theater?
All right. Having said that, if you're in regular YouTube land and you're missing out on this, I don't know what to tell you. I feel very, very terrible, very, very sad, very unfortunate.
Too bad for you.
But too bad for you. We are having a DJ stream, so if you're in the stream, stay tuned. We got more songs for you coming on the way. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go.